Europe is the western peninsula of the giant supercontinent of Eurasia, and is divided from Asia by a series of watersheds, including the Ural River and the Caspian and Black Seas. It is considered the second smallest continent, comprising 45 countries, with Russia being the largest and Vatican City the smallest. The current population of Europe right now in 2024 is over 700 million people.
Even though Europe is the second smallest continent on Earth, it has the third highest population, with 742 million people living there.
In 2023, Europe's GDP was approximately 17.1 trillion euros, reflecting significant economic developments. And now we move to the two smaller areas in Europe, which are the Eastern and Western Europe. Let's start with the first one, Eastern Europe. This area includes 10 countries as shown in this map, and it is approximately 5 million square kilometers. For the population, it has around 290 million people. For the GDP, it is estimated at approximately $4.5 trillion. Moving to Western Europe, this area includes 9 countries, and it is approximately 1.3 million square kilometers. It has around 200 million people, and it is estimated at approximately $10.14 trillion in 2023.
That over the last 30 years, the average annual GDP growth rate for Eastern European countries was around 3.6%, while Western Europe recorded an average of only 2.1% during the same period.
And Germany is very individualistic.
First, Germany places a strong emphasis on individualism and thus contrasts sharply with Russia, where collectivism remains a core value. Next, while German culture tends to be more assertive and competitive, reflecting a masculine orientation, Russian culture often prioritizes cooperation and consensus building, showcasing a more feminine approach. About power distance, while Germany has a relative low power distance, 35, Russia has a higher one, 93. Besides, Germany has a high level of uncertainty avoidance, emphasizing meticulous planning, clear rules, and structured processes. Meanwhile, Russia also exhibits strong uncertainty avoidance, but often responds to uncertainty with a reliance on centralized authority, traditions, and networks. Next, Russia and Germany tend towards long-term orientation, valuing perseverance, planning, and stability over quick results. Finally, Germany leans towards indulgence, where people tend to value leisure, personal enjoyment, and self-expression. Russia, on the other hand, is more oriented towards restraint, emphasizing self-discipline and placing less focus on immediate gratification. Germany is a low-context culture where communication is explicit and information is primarily in the word spoken. Meanwhile, Russia is a high-context culture where much of the meaning in the communication is derived from nonverbal cues.
Germany is considered a low-context culture because communication is generally direct and explicit, with a strong emphasis on clear messages and detailed explanations.
Next, German communication style is often direct and assertive, with a focus on clarity and efficiency, while Russian communication tends to be more indirect, relying on nonverbal cues and context.
German culture emphasizes directness in communication. Germans value clear, unambiguous language and tend to be straightforward in expressing their opinions.
On the other hand, Germany is a highly monochronic culture where time is viewed as linear, and punctuality, planning, and adherence to schedules are prioritized. In contrast, Russian culture tends to be polychronic, prioritizing relationships and flexibility over strict schedules and punctuality. This can lead to a more relaxed approach to time management.
In Germany, being on time is not just a courtesy, it's an expectation. Whether it's a meeting, an appointment, or simply starting your workday, being punctual shows respect for others' time and demonstrates professionalism. This focus on time management extends to deadlines as well. German workers are known for being diligent about meeting deadlines and delivering results on time.
Besides, in Germany, people are emotionally reserved in public and professional settings, valuing calm, controlled expressions over overt displays of emotion. But in Russia, people tend to be more emotionally expressive, openly displaying feelings, especially in familiar and social settings. About formality, while Germans prioritize formal and structured communication, Russians also value formality and may be more flexible in their approach, adapting to different social situations and cultural nuances.
Formality is highly valued in Russian business communication. Initial interactions may be reserved, and professionalism is expected.
In terms of a task, in Germany, the linear approach to tasks is highly valued, with a strong emphasis on following a clear, step-by-step process to achieve the goals. Unlike Germany, Russia has a more circular approach to tasks, where people consider multiple perspectives and adapt the plans as situations evolve. This flexibility allows the greater adaptability and responsiveness, especially in complex or unpredictable environments. Finally, Germans often prioritize efficiency and task completion in their approach to business and negotiations, with focus on details of a deal, aiming to reach a clear and concise agreement. Russia has an emphasis on relationships, where trust and personal connections are vital before business dealing.
One important thing to keep in mind is that Russians value personal relationships and trust. Building rapport and establishing a personal connection is crucial to a successful negotiation.
A firm handshake is a cornerstone of formal greetings in both Germany and Russia. Germans typically opt for a formal good day, whereas Russians often greet with a more general hello. This linguistic difference reflects cultural nuances and levels of formality.